All right, guys, so we're pleased to announce we have a new car for the channel. And this behind me is a 1991 Nissan Figaro. And this is not what we're going to call everybody's taste, but it is a lot of people's taste. In fact, just trying to get here with it on the trailer, people are already stopping us, talking to us, when it was for sale, what it was. So Nissan made 9,000 of these cars. You couldn't just go buy one. You had to enter like a lottery. So you had to, one, have money to buy them. Then you had to enter the lottery. Nissan had to select you to be able to purchase one. Kind of like Porsche does. On their cars, you have to buy so many Porsches. They have like a criteria you have to make to be able to buy one of these. So this is actually a throwback car. This is made to look a lot older than what it is. And for 1991, so you still have some of the creature comforts like AC. This has a turbo 4-cylinder engine that makes 75 horsepower. They only made these in automatic. There was no manual cars. A little bit odd that that was the case. So remember, in 1991, Nissan was making R32 Skyline. It's R32, I believe, 91, something like that. They're already making very fast turbo cars. But that's not what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a fuel economy, something you could drive around, look very cool, convertible. And along with this, they also made this year, this is also the year Honda Beat, the Nissan S-Car Go, which is a van look like a snail. There was many, many other similar cars. In Japan and UK, they share the same thing where they always want these small, tiny little cars. And to be honest, you can't drive stuff like we drive here. Everything here is so huge. Our Toyota Sequoia M5s, that's not really a feasible car there. You can't park it anywhere. The streets are very small and so on. But the neat thing about these Nissan Figaros, they made these in 4 colors and actually 2 custom colors. So they had emerald green, which is this pastel green. They had the pale aqua, which is like a lighter blue. Topaz mist, which is like a cream color. Lapis gray, which is another variant of blue. We'll try to put this picture in here. Then you could buy custom colors, which was pink. And they don't even have anything on, like a darker blue, like a navy blue. Those are custom colors. And if you Google these cars, you immediately see all the pink ones come up right away. And what a lot of people do here, they'll actually paint these pink. Are we going to paint this pink? No. Now, what would be a candidate for that if you have one that was needed paint work? Maybe it's an option. Maybe it's not. But this car runs and drives, has 99,000 miles, 160,000 kilometers on it. It is quite the work of art, as you can see here. It has some what would we consider here, like 1962, 1965 bumpers on it. Same as like the 1600, those small chrome bumpers that are tucked in very nice. The round headlights resembles a Mini Cooper. The grille and the paint, the body work on this one is actually very, very good. We'll get Philip to walk around the backside of it here with this camera. And so the tires are 12-inch tires. We're going to see how those are going to be defined. The tires on are really good, but they're pretty much square from sitting. And that's not really something we're going to be able to keep, unfortunately. But these are Bridgestone, what were they? Bridgestone sneakers, which is funny on itself. We have a little bit of paint work here on the mirror that needs to be done. A little bit of paint's wore off there. There's a little strip here on the convertible top, missing a little piece of rubber on it. But overall, the car is extraordinary condition. It has a little scuff here on the back. We may or may not have the body shop attend. I hate to go messing with this car though. You know what I mean? It's all original paint. If he fixes this at the body shop, he has to clear this whole panel. We have a little ding here on the chrome trim right there. A little bit of fading here on the trim on the back. That's not a big deal. The top seems like it's very good. We have not yet tried to put it down. We will here shortly. On the back, the trunk on this thing actually flips up like so. If I got enough hands to do it. We have not cleaned this. Everything's just the way it is. A little bit of surface rust where the seal touches right there. But we will get into that. We'll take you guys with us on that expedition and clean all that up. And you see inside the trunk, you're like, oh, that car's so rusty. Oh my God, Nathan. But it's not. And we'll show you here in a second. We're gonna put the lift up. Has all the factory Nissan Figaro little mud flaps on it. Has all the, what they call bright work here in the States for old cars, all the chrome trim, aluminum trim. Overall, this is a tremendous starting point for us to do this car. And we've never done JDM car before on this channel. And you can notice here in the car, I'm opening the door. And this is obviously a right-hand drive. The seats need attention. The door panels are dirty. Everything's dingy. We have just a plan to make it pretty much perfect at this point. And you can see the center of the steering wheel is also painted the same color as the car. The dashboard's green like the car. And we've seen a lot of the guys doing the color swaps on these. They would actually paint all that pink. But like I said, we're not going to do that with this at all. Everything functions right. We haven't driven it far enough to try the AC. We'll do that. But as far as that, let's take you under the engine, under the hood. We just sprayed up the car wash, a little bit dirty. The bottom of the hood's a little bit dirty. We have stuff to clean all that up. We'll probably get a little Wes's bleach white on that and hand wash that with that. All these labels are already turned white, so I guess we don't have to worry about any of that. Metal Nissan airbox. A little bit of surface rust in the battery tray, not even anything even worth mentioning. Those little things like, how far should we go with making this engine bay look nice? How far is it worth going? We have our coil pack up here. This car still has, obviously, ignition wires. It's like somebody's actually replaced those. They're still pretty soft. It still has a distributor cap. We'll check into all of that. The turbochargers is sitting right here, as you can see. And all the hoses look very good on this car. Really, you guys know how Japanese cars are, 100,000 miles. It doesn't really need anything. But what we're gonna do, this is a timing belt car. So we will go ahead and do the timing belt. We're gonna do the water pump, probably engine mounts, plug wires. If it needs it, we'll have to assess everything. We did try to buy a battery. It takes a Honda Civic battery. We bought one at Walmart. It was junk right out of the box, so we need to go back there and exchange that. Then we'll have a decent battery. This has the old style, tiny little battery terminals on it that will not fit on an American battery. So we'll have to fix that. And I guess for the engine, that's pretty much it. So we'll start off with the front and go to the back. Here's the engine. Here's the transmission. Like nothing's leaking. There's a little bit of seepage. Go up in here, all the control arms, so all the factory paint on them. The front struts actually look good. All this looks fine. CV axles, all the boots are good. The rack and pinions got a little bit of seepage here, but we just had it at the car wash, so we'll have to wipe it off and see what that deal is. As we go over here a little further, everything's good on this side, all the hub stuff, nothing's rusty. And you can see the bottom of the car, like nothing is rusty. All the floor pans, all the spots that these cars are common to rust, this has no rust at all. And on the frame rail here, it looks like during shipping from Japan, somebody hooked a hook in that and it ripped that a little bit. We'll probably tap that back in. The exhaust seems to be the only thing that's rusty. And what looks to the naked eye here is different what the camera is going to look for sure. Probably looks like hell on the camera, actually. All the pinch welds are all good all the way down here. There's actually a drain. Is that a drain or is that a rip? No, it's a drain. A drain right here. All our brake lines are like brand new. All the factory paints on those. There's no issue at all with any of that. When we come to the gas tank, had a little bit of gas in it. It didn't smell too bad. We filled it up. It took about, I don't know, we think probably I think I had about a gallon in it. It took 4 gallons and it was full. So it's probably a 5 or 6 gallon tank at the very most. The rear control arms where all this bolts in is all really, really good. No issue at all with rust and none of that. All the pinch welds are great. Like I said, these tires, it's a shame. They're the tread, they have like no miles on them, but they're hard as steel and they're pretty much square from sitting. We got all 4 tires are flat. So you're gonna have a little bit of that no matter what. We'll go to the back here, we'll look at the trunk floor. And this is where the spare tire sits in the trunk. All that looks really good. The drain hole, there's no rust anywhere on that. A tiny bit of surface rust back here on the gas tank. I mean, it's so minor. It looks like you damn near just take your finger and wipe it off. This car is not set outside, and that's more than likely what's rescued it. It's imported from Japan to Tennessee. Tennessee doesn't get a lot of snow. This car was never driven hardly once it got there, and that's what also rescued it. If you would take off in this in the wintertime here in Missouri, with all the salt they dump on the roads, this car's lifespan would be extremely short. So have to keep that in mind. All the factory paint back here on the back brace. Now this is a front wheel drive car, as you can see, front engine, front wheel drive. And then tow hook, all that stuff's perfect on it. These rear struts, you can see the rear struts are seeping a little bit, very little bit. That's a tiny little strut. It's like not much bigger than like one of those big magic markers. A screwdriver handle, I guess would be the appropriate terminology for that, being that size. This one over here is leaking, seeping a little bit worse. All this stuff up inside here is great. We have stuff to clean the little chrome tips up. It's just gonna be a lot, like a mild restoration, but you can see these tires here. And all these JDM cars are like this. You know, if you're going to buy a Skyline or something and nobody's done anything to it, they're not gonna be cars you can just hop in and drive off in. It's just not that way. But I figure you guys probably be really interested in seeing this. It is a very interesting car. We're not gonna go any more in depth than that right now. We're gonna shoot a few videos coming up here that will be everything we need to buy for this thing. We'll take an inventory, a list, do a checklist, do all that for that. And, you know, I guess other than that, we'll pull the interior out of it, pull the seats out of it, get everything right in it. So if a Nissan Figaro tickles your fancy, tickles your wife's fancy probably, it's probably gonna be, this is definitely a car that women love. Because of them, it's a cute little car, right? And for your husband, it's a reliable, cute car too. It's not something very crazy. Parts are available for this. We'll have to order from either Japan or from UK. We've been getting everything very quickly. We get stuff from UK or Japan, a week, week and a half, 2 weeks at the most. So our job here next is gonna be to get the list done right, get every possible thing we need all on one swipe. So we're not waiting on stuff. And then we'll do probably one more video on this. We'll be back on the M5. All the tires should be here for that. And I think that car still has a little bit of power steering leak on one of the lines. We made us replace that. And then that car is gonna be very, very good and ready to go through this new owner. A lot of you have emailed me on that. And we'll go through that list when it's time to sell it and go from top to bottom and in order. And we need to sell that car now more than ever because now we have a room issue here in the shop. And there's other cars we want to buy right now, but I'm restraining myself. Stuff I want to go buy right now, but we can't. There's no room. None of these cars we can leave outside. They're not that kind of car. So we have to keep that in mind also. But that's going to be it, guys. We'll be back very soon with another video on the Figaro, and then directly after that on the M5. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.